What if I told you that using your CPF to pay for your house could cost you $200,000 in lost money that you'll never see again? I know what you're thinking. Toby, CPF is my money. How can using my own money cost me money? But here's the reality. Every dollar you take from CPF to pay for your house comes with a hidden cost that most Singaporeans never calculate properly. It's called accrued interest, and it's guaranteed money you will lose to the government. Yet many people still choose CPF over cash. Are they making a mistake, or is there something that most people don't understand about this decision? By the end of this video, you will know exactly how much using CPF really costs you when cash makes more sense, and most importantly, which payment methods will leave you better off financially. But first, let me show you the hidden costs that 90% of homeowners never see coming. Most people think using CPF to buy their house is free money because it's their own savings. They see their CPF balance and think, why use cash when I can use this? I've helped over 130 families navigate these payments decisions in the last 3 years, and here's what I've learned. The choice between CPF and cash isn't about convenience, it is about understanding the true long-term cost of each option. The problem is, everyone focuses on preserving their cash today instead of calculating what each payment methods actually cost them over time. So let's break down the real cost of using CPF versus cash for both your down payment and monthly mortgage payments. Because once you see these three key differences clearly, you will know exactly which payment strategy makes the most financial sense for your situation. There's one specific scenario where using CPF could cost you over 300,000 more than using cash. I will show you exactly when this happens and how to avoid it. But first, you need to understand how CPF accrued interest really works. Here's what most people don't understand about CPF accrued interest. It's not a fee or penalty. It is the opportunity cost of removing money from your CPF account that would have earned 2.5% guaranteed interest. When you use CPF for your house, that money stops earning interest. But here's the catch. When you sell your house, you must refund not just what you use, but also what the money would have earned if it had stayed in CPF. How accrued interest works. You use 100,000 from CPF for a down payment. CPF calculates 2.5% interest annually on this amount. After 10 years, you owe CPF 128,000. Original 100,000 plus 28,000 accrued interest. This 128,000 must be refunded before you see any cash proceeds. Real life example from transactions I've observed. A couple used 200,000 from their CPF over 15 years for house payments. The accrued interest accumulated to 87,000. When they sold, they expected 300,000 in cash proceeds, but had to refund 287,000 to CPF. They only received 13,000 in actual cash. The guaranteed loss reality. Unlike property appreciation, which is uncertain, CPF accrued interest is guaranteed. Every year you hold the property, the accrued interest grows at exactly 2.5%. This is money you will definitely have to pay back. Why this matters for payment decisions? Using CPF creates a guaranteed future cost. Using cash preserves your CPF's guaranteed 2.5% growth. The longer you hold the property, the more accrued interest accumulates. The key insights: CPF accrued interest isn't lost money, it's opportunity cost, but is a guaranteed cost that many people don't factor into their payment decisions. Now, let's look at how this applies to your own down payment decisions. For your down payment, you have clear choices about how much CPF versus cash to use. Let's analyze the real cost of each approach. Scenario: $800,000 flat, requiring 200,000 down payment. Option 1. Maximize CPF usage. Use 200,000 from CPF OA for entire down payment. Preserve 200,000 cash for other investments. Immediate benefit: keep cash liquid for emergencies or investments. The long-term cost: 200,000 accruing interest at 2.5% annually. Option 2. Maximum cash usage. Bank loan. Use 160,000 cash plus 40,000 CPF. Minimum 5% cash requirement. CPF accrued interest only applies to 40,000. Immediate cost: reduce cash reserves significantly. Long-term benefit: much lower accrued interest accumulations. Option 3. Balanced approach. Use 100,000 in cash and 100,000 in CPF. Moderate impact on both cash reserves and accrued interest. Balance liquidity needs with long-term cost. The 10-year comparison: Option 1, accrued interest approximately 56,000. Option 2, accrued interest approximately 11,000. Option 3, accrued interest approximately 28,000. But here's what many people miss. The cash you preserve by using CPF needs to earn more than 2.5% annually to justify the accrued interest cost. Critical questions to ask. Can you invest your preserved cash at returns higher than 2.5%? Do you need cash reserve for emergencies or other opportunities? How long do you plan to hold the property? The strategic insights. If you can't consistently earn more than 2.5% on your cash investments, using cash for down payment typically costs less long term than using CPF. But the biggest decision is your monthly mortgage payments. Your monthly mortgage payment choice has an even bigger long-term impact because it compounds over 20 to 25 years. Monthly payment options: pay entirely with CPF if sufficient balance, pay entirely with cash, mix of CPF and cash. Real example: $3,000 monthly payment over 20 years. Option 1, 100% CPF payments. Total CPF use, $720,000 over 20 years. Accrued interest after 20 years, approximately $400,000. Total CPF refunds required, approximately $1.12 million. Option 2, 100% cash payments. Total cash use, $720,000 over 20 years. CPF continues earning 2.5% on preserved balance. No accrued interest on mortgage payments. Option 3, 50-50 mix. CPF use, $360,000, cash use, $360,000, accrued interest, approximately $200,000. Total CPF refund required, approximately $560,000. The compounding effect: early mortgage payments accrue interest for the longest time. A $3,000 CPF payment in year 1 accrues interest for 20 years. A $3,000 payment in year 19 only accrues interest for 1 year. Income and cash flow considerations. High earners might prefer cash payments to minimize accrued interest. Those with limited cash flow might need to use CPF. Your career stage matters. Early career versus peak earnings years affects your strategy. The retirement planning angle. Using cash preserved CPFs for retirement. CPF provides guaranteed 2.5% returns until age 55. And after 55, CPF Life provides guaranteed monthly payments. Strategic timing considerations. If planning to sell within 5 to 10 years, cash payments often better. If planning to hold long term, consider mixed approach. If approaching retirement, preserving CPF might be priority. The key insights. Monthly payment decisions compounds over decades. The choice you make in year 1 affects your finances for the entire loan tenure. Here's how to decide what's right for you. Let's put all this together into a practical decision framework you can use immediately. The 3-factor analysis. Your investment's capability. Can you consistently earn more than 2.5% on cash? Your holding period. How long will you own this property? Your cash flow needs. Do you need liquidity for other goals? When to use more cash? You can't consistently beat 2.5% returns on investments. You plan to hold the property long term, 10 plus years. You have sufficient cash reserves after the purchase. You want to minimize guaranteed costs, accrued interest. When to use more CPF? You can consistently earn 4% plus returns on preserved cash. You plan to sell within 5 to 7 years. Less time for accrued interest to compound. You need cash reserves for other businesses or other investments. You are approaching retirement and want to preserve CPF. Balanced approach. For many buyers, a mixed strategy works best. Use some cash to reduce the accrued interest. Use some CPF to preserve liquidity. Adjust the ratio based on your specific situation. Your decision framework. Calculate the accrued interest cost for different CPF usage levels. Assess your ability to earn returns on preserved cash. Consider your timeline and cash flow needs. Choose the approach that minimizes your total cost. At the end of the day, there's no universal better choice. The right payment method depends on your investment skills, timeline, and your financial goals. But understanding accrued interest helps you make an informed decision rather than just defaulting to CPF because it feels free. Because really, CPF isn't free money. It's money with a guaranteed 2.5% opportunity cost. But neither is cash always better. It depends on what else you can do with it. The best choice is the one that aligns with your overall financial decisions. Want to know which payment strategy makes the most sense for your specific situation? Many of my clients over the past 3 years have optimized their payment strategies to minimize long-term costs while achieving strong property returns. If you want to find out how, click the link in the description to access my SmartShift strategy. And if this video helps you understand the true cost of CPF usage, subscribe for more property insights that could save you thousands in unnecessary costs. Remember, the cheapest payment method isn't always the best one. The best payment method is the one one that minimizes your total long-term cost while supporting your overall financial goals. So the real question isn't whether you use CPF or cash, it's what's the best approach for you.